Hello there, this is Clovis from Kinematic Lab. In this video I'm going to show you how to use the Dotsphere object. So let's click on the UI Toolkit button here to open the interface, and then I'm going to the dots category here. So we have here the Dotsphere button, so we'll left click on the button and then we'll left click and drag in the viewport. So you see that when I drag here, you have a Dotsphere created and its radius changes. Fine. Now if I release the left mouse button, it stops the creation and I can create other Dotsphere objects. And I right click to stop. So I will delete these two objects and stay on this one. So what do we have here on its parameters? You have a mesh type rollout here to change the type of the dots. So by default it's a circle with 6 sides, and some of them have 5 sides because to make that kind of a spherical pattern you have to keep some of them at 5, otherwise you have some holes. And you can change their radius, the number of segments, and their height, which is basically an extrusion. You also can change it to a square. So in that case you can change the length, the width, the height again. You can have a dot sphere like that, okay, which is quite nice as well. You can change their radius, the number of divisions, okay, and you can have a custom mesh. So for that you will have to create a custom object. So let's make a little tube like that. I will pick this tube here. So now this tube is my dot, so I can change its size. The 8 is gonna change the Z scale, okay. And everything you do on this source object is going to be done as well on the final Dotsphere. So you can really change a lot of parameters and make some pretty complex stuff. So that's it for the mesh type. So let's go back to circles for the moment. And let's see the sphere's parameters. So you have a sphere, a full sphere, but it can be an hemisphere if you check this. So now you just have half of it. Okay. You can change its radius. Okay. Let's go back to this full sphere. You can change the radius of the sphere itself, okay, which is different from the radius of the dots. Fine. And the number of segments, which is the number of divisions of the sphere. So of course if you add more dots you have to make them smaller by changing their size. Okay, and now what you have here is some map options. So what is it for? It is to control some dots parameters using a map. So I will check the use map option here, and with the none button here I press it and it opens the material map browser, and I will choose a map. It can be a bitmap sequence, for example, or any map you can have access to inside 3ds Max. I will choose a noise for the example and I will edit it. So I press the edit button, so now it opens the material editor automatically and place this inside it. So in order to see something happening you have to check at least one option here. So for the moment the map isn't affecting anything, but you can affect the dot size, for example. So you see something changed, but the map for now is too big, so I will just reduce it, and you can see some things varying on the sphere. Okay, so now if I adjust the map. Okay, here we are. You see that now you can see that the black and white values of the map are affecting the size of the dots. So what is great here is that you can animate this map. You can animate its phase, for example. Okay, just put some keyframes here, and you have an animated dot sphere. You can animate all the map parameters, like the offset as well, the angle, the tiling, anything. So you see that we can affect the dot size, but we can also invert this map. So of course you could do it here or using other map controllers, like a composite or anything that can affect this map. But you can invert it right here as well. Okay, so you already can see the difference. Also, you can affect the sphere radius, so the radius of the sphere itself, not the dots. Okay, so if I animate the face, you see that I have something cool happening as well. And this is of course adjusted by your map values. So just have to change these values or even change this curve to have some better transitions. Okay, you can invert this again, so it's going to do something different. Okay, you can change the 8 value, sorry. So in order to work, you have to have an 8 value here. Okay. So now when I change my face value, you see that all the 8 are changing as well. You can invert it again. But what is cool to do as well is to combine these two options. I mean, or combine everything here. So you can affect the dots radius and the height as well together. Invert one of them if you're not happy. Okay, and now you will see that you can, with this option, the vertex color option, you can influence the vertex color as well. So if you click this vertex color toggle button, you will just display the vertex colors. And if I animate the face, you have the same effect done just on the vertex color. So if I just remove this and this, okay, you see that now it's just vertex colors. But of course you can combine it with the other options. And this vertex color can be used to create a shader. So I will apply a standard for the example. And in the diffuse map, I will add a mix map. And in the mix amount, I will add a vertex color map, which takes these black and white values, okay? And these black and white values are going to be the map to mix between these two colors. So if I add a blue here, a yellow here, so this cannot be seen in the viewport, okay? You have to render. So for the moment it's quite hard to see because of these colors themselves, I guess. Okay, it's a bit better now. And maybe the map itself is not enough contrasted. Okay, so now you can see the result on a map. That's it. See you in the next video. Cheers.